Okay, so this is the final contextual example that we'll spend time going through. And this is one involving three simultaneous, just because the previous two were involving two. So the three simultaneous questions in context tend to be massive in terms of stuff. So it's best to be good at reading and digesting this information. So let's have a read. A company pays its junior, intermediate, and executive members different hourly rates. And we're given a bunch of information here. So before that, I'm going to define my variables. So I'm going to let J be the rate for the junior. I'm going to let I, now the quotes essentially just means replacing in be the rate for the. So then I'll have intermediate. And then I'm going to let E be the rate for the executive. And then from here, I'm going to start forming the equations that I need. So when the junior works for 5, intermediate 2, and executive 1, the total wages are €211. When the junior works for 3, intermediate 4, and executive 2, the total wages are $289. Lastly, when the junior works for an hour, so just a singular J, intermediate 5, and executive 7, the total wages are $561. And we need to work at the hourly pay for each kind of worker. Okay, so we could go down the road of either doing J or E. With trying to eliminate I is going to be a little bit difficult because none of the numbers really kind of match up and there's no identities, or identity element rather, so it's going to be difficult. In this case, I'm going to pick E to eliminate, so E for eliminate. So first thing we'll do is note that equation 3 is the highest coefficient, so I'm going to put that on top. So we'll have J plus 5I plus 7E equals to 561. And we want a 7E up here. So plus 7E. That means we take equation 1 and multiply it by 7. So 5J times 7 will give us 35J. And 2I times 7 is going to be 14I. And that's equal to 211 times 7, which is 1,477. Okay, because the 7 E's have the same sign, we're going to subtract. So these two are going to knock each other out, leaving us with minus 34J minus 9I equals to that, which is 561 minus 1477, which is minus 916. So in other words, 34J plus 9I is equal to 916. And that's going to be equation 4. Okay, now we just have to pick another pair of equations. And the next pair I'm looking at is between 2 and 1, because there's a 2E and an E that we can kind of play around with. So equation 2 with the higher coefficient I'm going to put first. So 3J plus 4I plus 2E is equal to 289. And then we're going to take equation 1 and multiply it by 2. Again, so we can get the 2E popping up as well. Okay, so it turns into 10J plus 4I it actually works out fairly nicely, is equal to 211 times 2, which is 422. So 5, 2, and 1, 2, and 11, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 8, 9. Yep. Okay. So now if we subtract the equations, we actually get the i's cancelling as well. So the two e's knock each other out. The four i's knock each other out. And we're left at minus 7j equals 289 minus 422, which is minus 133. So we get j is, now the numerical answer is 19, but in terms of units, I'm going to write that as 19 euros per hour. Okay, now what we have to do is find I and E. So I'm going to put that information, j being equal to 19, into equation 4. So what equation 4 is now going to read is 34 times 19 plus 9i is equal to 916. So that turns into 646 plus 9i equals to 916. So we get 9i is equal to 270. So the intermediate is getting paid 30 euro an hour. Then we need to put that into another equation. And again, because it's the easiest, we'll sub it into equation 1. So with equation 1, we get 5 times the junior, which is 5 times 19, plus 2 times the intermediate, which is 2 times 30, plus the executive is equal to 211. So E plus 155 is equal to 211. So the executive, the greedy person, is getting paid 56 euro an hour. So because this isn't representative of a point in space, we're just going to, well, it is in a graphical sense, but we're not talking about that at the minute. In terms of context, it's best to write down everything. So junior gets paid 19 euro an hour. Intermediate, 30 euro an hour. And the executive is 56 euro an hour. And that's the answer to that question.